The high-speed world of motorsports is no stranger to adrenaline, danger, and emotion, but no one could have predicted the wave of shock that rippled through both fans and celebrities when Wang Yibo's bike veered off track during the intense final lap of the Asia Grand Prix qualifiers in Shanghai. Cameras were rolling, crowds were screaming, and one person's reaction stood out more than any other: Xiao Zhan's. The moment Wang Yibo's motorcycle spun out of control, a collective gasp filled the arena. In the VIP stand, Xiao Zhan, dressed in casual black denim and a Gucci cap pulled low, instantly rose to his feet. Those who were there said his face went pale, his expression breaking into one of pure fear. Within seconds, social media exploded with clips of him shouting something inaudible toward the pit lane, his voice trembling as he tried to get information about Yibo's condition. As medics rushed to the track, Xiao Zhan reportedly pushed past security to get closer. He didn't care about cameras or the crowd, one witness shared. The moment Wang Yibo fell, Xiao Zhan looked like his whole world froze. For a few tense minutes, time stood still. Wang Yibo, who had been leading the race with his usual cool precision, was seen lying motionless beside his bike. Xiao Zhan's hands were clenched tightly, his eyes locked on the track. Fans caught the moment he mouthed, "Please be okay," as he leaned forward, unable to hide his anxiety. When the medical team finally signaled that Yibo was conscious, Xiao Zhan exhaled visibly, tears forming in his eyes. Cameras zoomed in just in time to catch that fragile, unguarded moment, Xiao Zhan pressing a trembling hand over his mouth, relief washing over his face. It was a rare glimpse of raw emotion from the usually composed star, and it spread across social media within minutes. Hashtags like #ShiaoZhanReaction, #WangYiboCrash, and #YiZhanMoments dominated the top trends. Fans across the globe wrote messages filled with both concern and admiration. "You could see how much Xiao Zhan truly cares," one fan commented. That look of fear wasn't for the cameras, it was real. Later, when reporters asked Xiao Zhan about what happened, he didn't shy away from showing his emotions. "I just wanted him to get up," he said softly. "Yibo is strong, but seeing him fall like that, it was scary." That simple statement sent fans into a frenzy, with many noting how his words reflected a bond that goes beyond friendship or co-star connection. After years of shared history, from performing together to enduring media storms, seeing Xiao Zhan react so genuinely reminded everyone of the quiet strength of their relationship. When Wang Yibo finally appeared later that evening, sporting a few bruises, but flashing his usual calm grin, Xiao Zhan was among the first to meet him in the medical tent. Witnesses say their reunion was brief, but heartfelt. "He scolded him first," one staff member joked. "Then he smiled and said, 'You scared everyone, especially me.'" Photos of the two leaving the venue side by side, Yibo slightly limping, Xiao Zhan walking protectively close, became instant internet gold. The image spoke louder than any words could. Two stars, bound by respect, care, and something deeply human. Though the crash was minor in the end, it left a lasting impact, not only on the fans but on Xiao Zhan himself. His emotional response reminded everyone that behind the glamour, fame, and flashing lights, there are real people with real feelings. And as Wang Yibo recovers, Xiao Zhan's words still echo across fan communities. "No race, no trophy," is worth more than a person. It was a statement that showed not just who Xiao Zhan is as a friend, but who he is as a person, compassionate, grounded, and unafraid to care deeply in a world that often tells stars to stay detached. The crash may have lasted only seconds, but Xiao Zhan's reaction turned that fleeting moment into one that fans, and the world, will remember for years to come. Recovery and reunion. Xiao Zhan's quiet visit to Wang Yibo after the crash melts hearts worldwide. The aftermath of Wang Yibo's terrifying track crash left millions holding their breath, but it was what happened after the race that truly captured everyone's hearts. While fans flooded social media with prayers and well wishes, Xiao Zhan quietly made his way to the private recovery suite where Wang Yibo was being treated. What followed became one of the most heartwarming and talked about moments in entertainment news this year. According to insiders, Xiao Zhan arrived at the hospital late in the evening, long after most of the crowd had dispersed. Dressed simply in a hoodie and face mask, he slipped past the press unnoticed. He didn't want attention, a staff member revealed. He just wanted to make sure Yibo was okay. When Xiao Zhan entered the room, Wang Yibo was resting, his arm bandaged and his shoulder wrapped. The usually stoic racer lifted his head slightly, and a small smile tugged at his lips when he saw Xiao Zhan standing by the door. "You came," Yibo said in a low voice, his tone half teasing, half grateful. Xiao Zhan only shook his head with a soft chuckle, eyes glistening. "Of course I came. You think I could sleep after what happened out there?" The room was silent for a few moments, just the faint hum of the machines and their quiet breathing. Witnesses said the two simply sat together, talking in low voices, occasionally laughing as the tension began to ease. "They didn't need to say much," one nurse mentioned. "You could feel the connection, the relief, the care. It was a genuine friendship that didn't need words." At one point, Xiao Zhan reportedly scolded Yibo gently, saying, "You scared everyone, especially me." To which Yibo replied with that familiar grin, "Guess that means I still know how to make an entrance." The light banter broke the heaviness in the air, reminding everyone that even in pain, Wang Yibo's wit remained intact, and that Xiao Zhan's concern was unshakable. The next morning, a fan caught sight of Xiao Zhan leaving the facility, coffee in hand and exhaustion written across his face. He gave a small wave to the few who recognized him, his expression a mix of relief and quiet gratitude. Hours later, Yibo posted a simple update on Weibo. "Thanks to everyone for worrying. I'm fine. Just a few scratches. See you soon on track." What melted hearts even more was the emoji he used, a tiny red heart followed by a wolf emoji, the very same one Xiao Zhan had once used to describe Yibo during a past interview. Fans instantly drew the connection, turning the comment section into a sea of Yijan forever, messages and well wishes. Behind the scenes, sources close to both stars revealed that Xiao Zhan had insisted on staying in Shanghai until Yibo was cleared to leave. He refused to leave until he saw him walk again, a close associate said. He told the staff, "He's stubborn, so I'll be the one to make sure he listens this time." Their reunion after the incident became a symbol of resilience and loyalty, a quiet testimony to years of shared struggles, successes, and unwavering friendship. Fans who followed them since their early days described the moment as real-life proof that bonds forged under pressure never break. In the days following the crash, a photo surfaced showing Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan sitting on a hospital balcony, both dressed casually, sharing coffee and laughter as the sun set over the city. The image went viral instantly, not because it was glamorous, but because it felt so genuine. Two friends, two stars, sharing a peaceful moment after chaos. Later, Xiao Zhan posted on his own page, a simple message that fans will never forget. "Sometimes the most important thing is just being there. Speed heals, but care saves." That single line summed up everything: the fear, the relief, the bond. It wasn't just about a crash or fame or racing. It was about humanity, about how, beneath all the flashing lights and screaming crowds, these two young men continue to remind the world what loyalty truly looks like. As Wang Yibo prepares to return to the track, fans everywhere are breathing easier, knowing he's safe, and that Xiao Zhan will always be somewhere nearby, quietly cheering him on. Because in that split second on the track, when everything could have gone wrong, it wasn't just a crash that shocked the world, it was a friendship that shone brighter than ever before.